All right, we got another good one here. Check this one out. Called two cops charged in swastika spray paint incident. Two ex-cops sprayed a swastika on two suspects' car. Wow.
Two ex-cops who allegedly spray painted a swastika onto a suspect's car. Now, this is just sick as hell.
This is just,
okay?
Yeah, it is.
Let me give you some background to this.
This is disgusting.
Two California officers, and let me put up a picture of the police chief. Two ex-California officers have pleaded not guilty to spray painting a suspect's car with a swastika and a happy face.
Jesus
the former
Christ.
officers, Cody Weldon, 28 years of age, and Christopher Tomsick, 29, both left the Torrance Police Department last year. LA County DA George Gascon announced they're facing criminal charges for this incident. While we were not able to obtain photos of the officers, we do have a photo of the Torrance City Police Chief, Jeremiah Hart, who vowed to hold these cops or ex-cops accountable. And you see him there. He's the person in charge, okay? Hart stated the two officers were part of a larger internal investigation into misconduct. According to Hart, the allegations took place in January of 2020, prompting an administrative investigation in March of that year. Hart said at least a dozen officers, including Welding and Tomsick, from the department in March of 2020. Details on the two officers, according to the LA Times, reads as so. Two former Torrance police officers were charged with spray painting a swastika inside of a resident's car, and prosecutors are now reviewing hundreds of cases involving the ex-cops to see if their alleged actions might imperil any arrests or convictions, officials said. I can save you some time here, District Attorney. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I promise you, there are cases that now you need to take another look at because you had two racist individuals in charge of the investigation, the apprehension, the arrest, and everything else. Okay? This is what happens when you have a culture that allows individuals like them to permeate it. It's expensive. It's a public relations nightmare. And just the fundamentals of criminal justice, you can't enforce these laws if you have lawbreakers arresting people. You can't enforce them. All right, it gets deeper. Each were charged with conspiracy and vandalism in connection with that particular incident. That is it. The two were part of a group of officers who responded to the report of mail theft. Okay, the car was potentially involved and was towed. The two officers allegedly decided to spray paint a swastika on the vehicle's rear seat and a happy face on the front passenger seat, according to a criminal complaint filed Thursday. Prosecutors also alleged the pair falsified a document submitted to the California Highway Patrol as part of their investigation by not including information about vandalism in the report. You know what that means? That means that they should have been charged with violation of oath of office and falsifying an official report, okay? That violation of your oath, that gets you to your felony right there, all right? The case was the result of an internal investigation by that police department, which referred the case to the DA's office in April of 2020. A sergeant, a Torrance police spokesman, said Weldon left the department in July 2020 after serving as a city police officer for a little more than 4 years. Tomsick, who was hired in August 2015, left the department in September of last year. Now, they're still getting all of this special treatment. Let me explain this. The Torrance City Attorney's Office instructed the leadership not to disclose if the officers were fired or if they resigned, okay? They instructed the leadership not to disclose that information. The DA's office is also reviewing hundreds of cases involving those officers to ensure no other alleged misconduct occurred and determine if the alleged bias act might impact any cases in which Tomsic and Weldon were either the arresting officers or called as witnesses, officials said. The case was presented as a hate crime, but the hate crime enhancement has not been filed, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get more hate crime-ish than that. So they're already receiving significant special treatment, even though they should be held to a higher standard of accountability. In 2017, Tomsic was one of several officers involved in a fatal shooting of a man at the end of a car chase. That's according to court records. Police said the suspect, Michael Lopez, was trying to ram officers when they opened fire. The DA's office declined to file charges against Tomsic in 2019. There's more. There's more. This same cop was also among a group of officers involved in a deadly struggle with a knife-wielding suspect, Daughtry Ross, at the Dale Imo Mall in 2018. The officers used a taser and physical force to try to subdue Ross, who had allegedly tried to grab for an officer's weapon during the fight. Ross died. Okay, Ross is dead and died at the hospital a short time after that clash. An autopsy found a heart attack in combination with methamphetamine intoxication and struggling with officers as the cause of death. Prosecutors decided not to file charges against these cops again. Routine, consistency, patterns. We see it all the time. David, what are your thoughts?
I'm shocked by the last thing you said, that prosecutors decided not to file charges against them. I mean, there is a culture, obviously, that is rotten. These are clearly dirty, rotten cops. And look, I get that in emotional situations, and let's be clear, it's not easy being a police officer. There are a lot of things about life that are not easy, but there are every day where all of us can point and say, you know what, if I followed my emotions, yeah, maybe I might try to go punch that guy that cut me off in the street, or maybe that person who flipped me off, maybe I'd go roll them over. We're all tempted to do things sometimes. None of us is perfect, but especially a police officer, it is your job to separate your emotions, what you feel like you want to do, and what you're allowed to do legally. Because if any of us are allowed to take matters into our own hands and mete out punishment and vandalize somebody's car and taser somebody when they don't need to be tased, if any of us can take things into our own hands, then we don't have justice in society, we have anarchy. That's the danger in all this. And for people to say, well, what about the criminals? Well, now, because of these cops and their terrible record, now a bunch of criminals might actually get off because their lawyers can point back and say, oh yeah, these were dirty cops who made up something about this arrest. They have a record of it. We need a new look at this case.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, there's shows you, man. And that's the thing, I try to, get out there. People need to be aware about it. There are fucking cops out there, bad, dirty cops out there, who shoot people that unarmed people or tase people who shouldn't be tased like that. I've done videos like that. Then you get stupid puke fucks like GD, Dinkus, I Could Be, and others, and you got true shit who's railing them at me. He said, oh yeah, you got a seaman on a cop watch, sitting there trolling the cops out there. I say, no, I'm sitting there, I'm getting the information out there because I'm doing the real news out there, the real media out there. These fucking LARPies don't do news out there. They don't do nothing like that. Saying you got I Could Be, and he said, well, it's justifiable because, and he said, oh, we should shut the fuck up back to bull. Yeah, because he's a fucking ex-deputy sheriff. Fuck. And GD, he's a fucking bloody bloke fucker that probably works driving his taxi for a boogie and works as a janitor. He's a nobody. Fuck. So yeah, that's what I say. And true shit wants to rail me because I fucking do videos on cops like that, or I do a cop watch out there. Fuck this puke fuck, this little puke fuck. He's supposed to, he works 2 jobs, takes care of his family, his kids like that, but he's always on YouTube trolling on other channels out there. This is why we do news about the fucking cops out there, about civilians who are justifiably getting tasered and shot at for no reason. With that said, I'm out here, Mike Joe. Peace out.